Word, son. What do you do, YouTube? It's your boy JDiVine. All right, man. Before we get into this video, make sure to hit the like button, comment, subscribe, share the word, spread the links, because you know how I do. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, click the bell icon to be notified every time I upload. Without further ado, let's get up into it. All right, man. So back again with another story time, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't already, man, make sure you sit back, chill, take a pee break, pause the video, get you some popcorn, because you know how I do. But this one is going to be about me working at Best Buy. And like I said, without further ado, let's get up into it. All right, man. So after I left UPS or whatever, I believe this one. Yeah. After I left UPS, of course, I worked at Best Buy. Now, not gonna lie to you, I always wanted to work at like an electronics store or somewhat of an electronics store. Yeah, hit my mic. I always wanted to work at an electronics store, so Best Buy was kind of like the best thing up. I always wanted to work at GameStop, but you know, GameStop's kind of overhyped and, you know, it's kind of trash at the same time. So Best Buy was the next thing up. So I remember going up there for the interview, and it was like me and this other girl, and there was this GM named Finley, and Finley was, I thought he was cool for the time being that he was there. It's just this white dude or whatever, like I'm talking about whiter than snow type shit, pasty, you know what I mean, pale, you know what I mean. No, I'm joking, but you know, just a white dude that he was the GM for the store, and basically, you know, he was trying to like instill fear in us, and he asked me the question, which I'm pretty sure he's probably profiling, but I'm gonna let that slide. He asked me, "Hey, what do you think about stealing?" And I was like, "Well," the also cookie cutter answer. I was saying like, "Well, you know, stealing is kind of something that I frown upon. You know, you got to do the gift of gab. You know how that goes." So I told him stealing was bad, and it's like, you know what, I need to steal for, because I have a job, and if I have a job, I have money. Therefore, if I have a job, I have money, and I don't need to steal. So he was like, "Yeah, that's a great answer. I just want to let you know that we have state of the art, top notch legal team. That if anything ever happens, blah 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 blah." I was like, you know, if you steal a piece of candy bar, we will prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law, yada, 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 right? So I'm like, yeah, all right, I hear you. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, don't know why you need to do that, but whatever. So, so some time goes on and I finally get hired on. Now, there's a few notable people that I will remember. There was this one Hispanic girl, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I don't know, she was kind of, she was cool for the most part, but then eventually, like as time goes on, she was kind of like faking the funk. So it was like, you know, whenever we was like conversing, she was like, "Yeah, so where you from?" Like, "Yeah, I'm from so and so." She's, "Oh yeah, seriously? Oh, okay, that's cool." And then weeks go on, and it's like she don't even talk to me no more. She act like she don't even see me. I'll speak and say good morning and everything, but she act like she don't even hear a nigga. So I'm like, whatever. But I tell you one thing though, boy, she had some ass on her Jesus. She had a motherfucking UPS box truck back there. I'm talking about like nip, you know what I'm saying? But and then there was this other lady named Tammy. Like it was this old chocolate thing. Jesus. Ooh, Lord, like I still talk to Tammy to this day whenever she ever do hit back. But Lord have mercy, Jesus. Tammy just don't know, bro. All right, I'm sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. But so working at not UPS, I'm about to say UPS. Working at Best Buy was pretty cool, man. You know, I got to experience a few things, man. That was the first time I ever worked a Black Friday, and boy, when I tell y'all that Black Friday shit was a mess. So what my position was, I was a downstocker. So at me being a downstocker, what that is, anything that's like low quantity on the floor, I go in the back, find out what it is, and then I take that item and I put that back out there, replenish whatever's missing. And I would always come in the morning, because I would work a few days during the week, and then the weekends I would be there. So I'm in there from like maybe 6 or 7 to like maybe 11 or 12 or whatever. The store is closed, but they let me in there. So that's what I did basically. So it was me, a couple of dudes I knew, and there was a few girls that worked there, but most of the time it was the guys that were there, you know, just taking inventory of the stuff. So, you know, that was my job. So every day that I was there, I would always learn different things on how to do them. So the supervisors for the most part were cool, but there was 2 of them. One of them I remember their names. The second one I don't remember, but I'll tell y'all them later on when we come to it. So the days that I was there, I was like, you know, down stocking or whatever. Now I'm not really a morning person, so I would just, you know, kind of make do with what the situation was. But when I was there, my nigga, I'm not gonna lie to you, I helped myself to so many fucking snacks in there. Cause see, in the back, like you had like drinks, chips, beef jerky, which I fuck with beef jerky. Like, that's my shit. You know what I'm saying? That beef jerky back there. They had candy. They had everything that you wanted back there. And of course they had the cameras. So, you know, when you're in there, you kind of gotta be like, you know, efficient. You know what I'm saying? I kind of like being on some Mission Impossible type shit. So when I was there, I had like this clipboard with my paperwork on it. So what I used to do was I would walk around the store and I knew what areas of the cameras were there, because mind you, I was always there. So I knew where the cameras were. I knew where the blind spots were in the store. So anytime I wanted, let's say, some beef jerky, that's what I got most of the time. I would grab a thing of beef jerky, and mind you, the supervisor at the time is there. He's there, but he's in there doing paperwork or whatever, so he's not even paying me no attention. And then there's me, and then one other person, and then there's somebody else that's also doing downstocking or whatever, but they're doing their own little thing. So we're all doing our own little thing or whatever, and I'm, you know, downstocking like I'm supposed to, taking inventory. And then I will go over there and go grab me some beef jerky. But the way I would do it is I would stick it underneath my clipboard. You could never see it. Like, especially the way I got it angled, I have it angled to where the camera can't see what exactly is in my hand, because the clipboard was that big to where I could conceal it. I know this is a broke nigga shit, but whatever. And this was so long ago, so this is like so fucking long ago. Anyway, so I had so let me see. So what I did, eventually I started, you know, like cutting it out with the snacks or whatever. So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. You know, got my fill or whatever. But most of the time I always paid for my stuff. So fast forward a little bit later on. Now, eventually it got to a point where, like, you know, we started restocking, you know, video games or whatever. Now, the thing with me in video games, I had consistent access to video games. That's how I played Fallout 4. I even got some socks to go with it because they had discounts and stuff like that, and all kinds of crazy shit. Now, the thing about this store was there was like this little pillar of like there was like this little empty pillar that was kind of, I guess, like supporting the store or whatever. So the games that I wanted or whatever, I would get them, or if they weren't in the case, because we had like a shelf back there in the back where the games were. And basically what I did was, all I did was I took those games, went to the blind spot of the store, which coincidentally was right next to that pillar. And what I would do was, of course, I couldn't get the whole case out of there. So I would take the CD out, slide it in my pocket, which I had shorts on, so I slid them in that. And then, because I had big pants, the pants weren't really big, but they just fit on me loosely. So, you know, you couldn't really tell I had anything on me. So what I did was I took the CD, stuck it in my shorts pocket, and then I took the case, tore it up as best as I could. Probably, I think either I kept the paper on me and then threw it away later on somewhere else, but I took the cases and I put them inside of the pillar that was like, it was like hollow and empty. Like, the only way you would know that something was in there is if you knocked down the store and you saw all those cases in there. I had access to everything that I wanted, right? So that didn't last too long. Eventually, like, I got my fill of it, but the video games that I would get though, like, it got so crazy to the point where, like, GameStop had to put a flag on my account, and anytime I wanted to, like, trade in something, like, they was like, oh, well, we got a flag on your account, you can't really, you know, because I guess it was like suspicious activity or whatever. So it got so bad to the point where I couldn't even, like, trade in anything. But like I said, that was like super long ago. Anyway, so as time goes on, I eventually started working the Black Friday. Nigga, I seen people fighting, I seen people steal, I seen people and just to let y'all know, like, I paid for a lot of my shit, so don't think I was just trying to go in and hit a lick. Like, nah, I paid for my shit. It was just some of the stuff I seen. I was like, oh shit, like, you know what I mean? It was just spur of the moment, but I paid for all of my shit, so don't even try that. But anyway, I seen people steal, I seen people fight. Like, I was walking around, like, picking up stuff that was out of place and just go putting it back. And this one dude, literally, he picked up a game and he was getting ready to, because it was outside of the little security case. So he took the game and he picked it up, cracked the little what's that, the plastic covering that's on it. He cracked that open, broke the seal pretty much, and took the CD out of it. But by the time I looked at him, he already had it open and had the CD, you know, in his hand. He looked at me, I looked at him, I turned my head and went the other way. I ain't see him. And I was like, yo, look, I ain't see shit, do you think? I'm like, I was he Hispanic? Was he black? I don't remember. All I know was when he had it in his hand, I was like, I ain't see shit. Do your thing. Just don't get caught. You know what I mean? But like I said, it was chaos, man. It looked like a fire hazard in there. It was raining outside too, so that definitely don't make it no better. It was just a bunch of chaos in that bitch. So, you know, most of the time I just sat back in the break room and just chilled out until, like, you know, it all died down. But Black Friday was crazy. So the thing about me being a downstalker is I had to also get up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to be back up at the store at 6 o'clock in the morning to do this thing called ad set. Now, what ad set is, all those price tags that you see in that store, which I'm pretty sure they don't do them now. They went to some holographic shit now, but at the time we all had paper stickers or whatever. So we had these things called Telzons or whatever, and all it is basically just a big, you know, computer. It's like a big phone with a gun on it that's supposed to have a barcode. And what you do is you scan them a certain way, and then you go in the back, you print out your stuff, and then once you print out the tags, the ones that need to change, which we all took them, we unstuck them and flipped them a different way. That's how we signify that those needed to change. So we took that, and then we went back there and printed out our stickers, because you got to do it a certain way. And then once you come back out, because we all have an assigned area. So my area was Car-Fi and home theater. So in my area, the biggest section to be in was like computers and I think cell phone. I think so. Yeah, those are like the two biggest areas to be in. So I had the small area with Car-Fi, which was like stereos, and then home theater. If you've been in Best Buy, you know. So I was in there and I had to do that or whatever. And, you know, you're in there until like maybe 1 or 2 or whatever. But like I said, it was pretty annoying, and it got old really fast. So and there was no way you could kind of like cheap your way out of it. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. And also the same as that time on a Saturday, you had to, if you were on the schedule, most of the time they'll bring you in at like 6 or 7, because there's a truck that comes through with all the shipments of the store that needs to be refilled. And the people who are downstalkers or whoever, you know, does that task, or whoever's with me on that day, we got to put the stuff up in the store. Now, mind you, we're doing this while the customers are here, and also at the same exact time, once the store closes, we have to hurry up and put the stuff up, because us again have to be up at 6 o'clock. Have to be back up at the store at 6 o'clock in the morning to do ad set. So there was a day where this guy named Brandon, right? And before I even get to him, let me go back to Finley real quick, the GM. So the thing about Finley, the thing about him was, you know, he was cool, but he has some real asshole tendencies. Like, give you an example. Like, one time we had this meeting, this mandatory meeting that we had to be here. Like, if you were off, you had to be there or whatever. So you had to go up there for the little meeting and shit. So we tried to, you know, bring donuts and chocolate milk, or just milk in general and whatever. So, you know, he was like, hey, how's it going, man? Hey, how's it going? What's up, Harris? And he dapped me up. You know what I'm saying? I was like, all right, Finley, I don't know what you know about the dap, my nigga. Like, I still don't fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? But good morning. You know what I'm saying? So there was one time where, I don't know if it was Black Friday. I don't remember. I think it was Black Friday. And, you know, the good thing here is we didn't have to worry about cleaning bathrooms and shit. So we ain't never had to worry about that part. But I think it was Black Friday, or it was a super busy day. And I remember going to the bathroom, because I had to use it at the time. I remember going into the bathroom, and I swear to God, when I walked in there was about maybe 2 inches of water, probably toilet water, on the floor. So I was like, yo, shit. So I walk out, and I'm like, hey, Finley. Yo, Finley. And like, I'm talking about, like, I'm like maybe 4 feet from him. I'm like, hey, Finley, like, yo, like, nigga, I'm trying to get your attention. Answer me. So about a 5th or 6th Finley, he's like, what, Justin? I was like, there's a flood in the men's bathroom. Well, take care of it then. All right, cool. So I was like, all right, bet. This is what I'm gonna do. So basically what I did was, what did I do? Matter of fact, I ain't even put shit up. I was like, you know, it's cool. I'm gonna let you go in there and figure it out, that something in that bitch is overflowing. I'm gonna go and let you figure it out. After you did that, I was like, cool, fuck you then, since you want to be a bitch about it. But anyway, so yeah, fuck Finley. We not worried about him. Now, Brandon was one of the new supervisors that came in. So Brandon, to give you an idea what he looked like Mr. Petrocelli from That's a Raven. You know, the dude who used to spit all the time, the teacher. That's exactly what he looked like. Now, Brandon was all right. He was kind of a nerd, you know what I mean? Like, he got really, like, you know, passionate about the stuff that he talked about, which was like most of the stuff that I wouldn't do, but you know, whatever, go off, I guess. So it was just a regular shift, you know, like they brought me in like at like 4:00 or whatever. So I did a little bit of downstocking, and then they brought us in so we could start doing the shipments for the store. And because it's a truck that'll come through, and that's to replenish the stuff that's in the store. And my God, when I tell you, majority of our stuff out of 100%, 70% of that shit, 60% of that shit had to be OtterBoxes for iPhones. When I tell y'all I got super sick and tired of them damn iPhones and them OtterBoxes, it's almost like we couldn't keep that shit in stock. Like there was like at least 3 or 4 crates of like iPhone cases. That shit was ridiculous. So anyway, so we're trying to get the you know, the shipment and stuff done, right? So we get the stuff in, we get it all separated, figuring out what we're gonna do. And mind you, like, you know, we got to get this stuff put up. Like nothing can be left out. We have to put it all up before we can leave, or we're able to leave. So you know, they keep screaming this whole teamwork. We're all about teamwork, yada yada yada, right? So they're screaming about that shit. Now they're talking about teamwork. Now by the time we get out there to start putting the shipments and stuff up, it's like maybe this might go on maybe like 1, maybe 2 o'clock in the morning almost. But by the time when I look, I'm like, you know, it's still stuff to be put out when I'm looking, because he was helping us for the time being. So then Brandon turns around, this hefty motherfucker turns around, and I see him start to make his way towards the exit. And I'm like, Brandon, where you going, man? We got to finish this stuff up. No, you got to finish it. I got to be back up here at 6 in the morning. I was just like, what the fuck? Like, I was like, okay, y'all want to play that shit. Okay. So all that talk about teamwork, that don't mean shit. Okay, bet. All right, say less. Now at this point, I was already starting to not like this goddamn job. I was already starting to hate it. So mind you, I think we got done at like 3:00 in the morning. Just us. Everybody else, all the supervisors and shit done left. 3:00 in the morning. We gotta be back up there at about 6 in the morning. I was like, yeah, this is some bullshit. So anyway, so the week goes on or whatever, and it got so bad to the point where like, bro, like, you know, they never they never checked in the break room a lot. So I used to always try to catch a little 10-minute little nap. I was sleepy as shit. I was always try to catch a little nap or whatever, because I had these comfortable ass reclining chairs. But I used to always try to play it off like my stomach was hurting, or I was sitting down trying to read the clipboard to see what else is next, trying to, you know, I try to play it off. And I'm pretty sure a lot of times the motherfuckers saw me sleeping all the time. I don't give a fuck. I like I said, that job wasn't shit. Now the thing about it was a part-time job, but they gave me full-time hours, or at least when I first got there, because I guess, you know, the holiday season. But once that shit was dead, they started, I went from 6 days a week to now it was like 2 or 3. So I wasn't able to do shit. So let's see where to go after that. So next week goes by or whatever, and they start doing the whole shipment thing. Now you're on your feet all day long, so you know, your feet will tend to hurt. I don't care what nobody says, your feet will hurt after being on them all day. So like, you know, we're trying to put the shipment and stuff. I'm like, yo, like my feet are killing me right now, bro. Like, let me give a 5-minute break or something. Cause the thing is, if you work less than 8 hours, if you work less than 6 or 8 hours, you don't get a 30-minute break, or like a little 15-minute break or whatever. Like, you gotta just work your shift straight through. You don't get a chance to sit down. So there was this other white dude, I think he worked for Geek Squad, and you know, I'm like, you know, fuck this bullshit. Like, yo, we not getting a break. Like, I'm trying to take it upon myself to, you know, take a break, because y'all not finna just overwork us like that, bro. Like, we need time to like really catch our breath. You know what I'm saying? So I went on the break room and I sat down and I'm like, yo, like my feet are killing me, bro. And I see the nigga from Geek Squad come in and he like, hey, look, man, need you to get out there and help him on the floor, man. I can't have you in here. Come on. So I'm like, all right, just trying to bite my tongue. So we keep on going or whatever. And I'm like, dude, fuck this shit, man. So I went back in the break room. I'm like, yo, fam, like my feet are killing me, bro. Like I don't know what's going on with my Achilles is feel like it's on fire, bro. Like, yo, I'm not really feeling it right now, man. And then he's like, hey, look, man, if I come here again and I catch you sitting down, I'm gonna have to send you home. I was like, bro, come. I was like, all right. Then something hit me and I was like, you know what, fam? Yeah, go and send me home, bro. It's cool, G. Go and send me home. He's like, you sure? I was like, yeah, it's cool. Yeah, cause I'm absolutely not feeling it right now, man. So grabbed all my stuff, you know what I mean? Had my bag or whatever, grabbed my bag, grabbed my stuff, and I went home. I said, man, fuck this shit. And at that point, I was already like working up my 2 weeks notice already. And let me tell you one thing, bro. When you work for a store like that, and you put your 2 weeks notice in, they will shorten your schedule up. They will make it to where you only work 1 day or 2 days. Like they will shorten your schedule up so funny it's not even a point of showing up. You know what I'm saying? Like it got that bad. So yeah, so I put my 2 weeks notice in, and of course 2 weeks later, then I was gone. But they was already having me down for like 1 day out of the week. And in hell, there were times they didn't even have me on ad set, but then again, they was hiring people to try to fill my spot. So yeah, man, Jesus, man, I couldn't. It was cool for the time being, but at the same as that time, bro, it was just bullshit. Like I hate working with people that feel like they that feel like, you know, they can say one thing, but then they don't have to like really necessarily follow up their actions. They keep talking about teamwork, but I'm just like, y'all say teamwork, but once Brandon had left the way that he did, I said, man, fuck out of here. Y'all don't care about no damn teamwork. Talking about, oh, I gotta be back up here at 6. We do too, motherfucker. So come on, like, we all getting out of here at the same time. Like, fuck the bullshit, but nah, he's just gonna just cut out. I said, yeah, fuck this job. So eventually, like I said, I just put my 2 weeks notice in and I just left. But yeah, man, that was my little stint at Best Buy, man. I think that was maybe like a year, probably. Would I work there again? Probably not, man. Especially since that GM is still there, because it's a dude that I know that still works there to this day now after all these years. This is like maybe 10, 11, 12, maybe 13 years ago. Like this is so far back. But yeah, man. But he still works there now, and I talk to him every now and again. And the same GM is still there. You know, I think Tammy, with us sexy ass, she's still there. And yeah, man, most definitely, bro. And I think Tammy was the one that actually kind of like showed me around the store or whatever, but I was too fixated on her fine ass, boy. I was not paying attention to shit she was saying. But yeah, man, hopefully y'all enjoyed the story time, man. I try to make this one not so long. Hopefully it didn't go over 30 minutes, but as y'all can see, man, I shortened it up for y'all. I try to get to the points. But yeah, hopefully y'all enjoy, man. Make sure to like button, comment, subscribe, share the word, spread the links, because you know how I do. Next story time, I don't know what this one will be, but just look out for the next story time video when it does come out. So yeah, definitely make sure you hit the like button, comment, subscribe, share the word, spread the links, because you know how I do. When we're gonna get up out of here, man. It's your boy JDiVine, and I'm signing out. Peace.